Raphael. They sell points there for $10. And